Uh, in People versus Roscoe Jr. is the fact of this is appeal from the decision of the court of first instances of Kambanga Act, more at finding the applicant guilty of murder and sentencing each of them to suffer the penalty of reclusion perpetua with all the accessory penalties of all law to identify the shares of the victim in the amount of 35,000 without uh, subsidiary imprisonment in case of involuntary and to pay the cost. It also is it appears that in the afternoon of September 13, 1974, Apriano Ladera, also known as Ariano leaders Leo Mailon, Caresora leader Elias Tagbacaula, and about 30 others were planting corn in the cornfield of Ampromano Ladera, located at Barrio Kinabo, Polanco, Zamboanga del Norte. At about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the four named persons stopped and crossed in the. Ang kwan nito is yung nagkulong siya involuntary of to pay the cost. Yung 35,000 yung binayaran niya. Okay, next. Next is yung US versus Goisaico, which means is ito yung the accused Emilian Guy Soisco Julie became aware of this relation as her husband had stayed away from home for more than 2 weeks, remaining in the barrio of Dojart, distant about 2.5 hours walk from the said town, under the pretext that he was engaged in field work on the 20th of March 1907 at about 2 p.m. She decided to go to avoid Barrio and joined him to this end, and she hired a Corex, and after getting some clothes and the thing necessary for herself and husband, started out with her infant child and servant. The issue in this, sir, is I think that the aggravating circumstances of these guys should be applied, and I do not agree with that part of that decision which threats of matter of aggression illegitimate. Yun po. And next is on May 7, People versus Crisostomo. The issue of this, sir, is whether the accused can invoke self-defense, which means is ito yung istorya na, sir, is on May 17, 1972, Crisostomo and Ragsak took turns in stabbing wife was brought to the prison hospital, but he died on arrival. Crisostomo alleged that he acted in self-defense. The alleged that the 4 days prior to incident, he gave 62 pesos to waste in change of cigarettes. On May 27, the former asked about the request, and the latter responded that he loot the money. When the former inquired of how he lot of money, the latter became irritated and treated Crisostomo to add him to the person he had killed. At the same time, Waje struck him with a chakon. The accused alleged saw Waze pulling something from his body, so that the former immediately brought out his weapon and stabbed Waje with it. So yun, sir, yung issue dun is whether the accused on the can invoke self-defense.